What's going on, everyone? My name is Mikey and welcome back to my second new DVD Blu-ray releases video, I guess. I really need to come up with a better title for that. Anyways, we got a couple movies coming out, so let's get started. Do you remember that old Mad magazine that had little comics in it? And one of them was Spy vs. Spy? Well, that movie comes out today. And of course I'm talking about This Means War, which stars Reese Witherspoon, Chris Pine, Tom Hardy. And it's about those two, Tom Hardy and Chris Pine, who are spies that end up dating Reese Witherspoon at the same time. And then, they fight over her and all that stuff. I have not yet seen it. I will definitely be renting it though to check out. From what I've heard though, the first half of the film is really bad and you get bored with it. You don't want to be there. It's awful. But in the second half of it, you start to feel a little bit better. It starts to get a little bit better. You start enjoying it. You have some fun with it. On IMDb, it was given 6.5 out of 10. So it's a pretty average score. Next is the new Daniel Radcliffe film called The Woman in Black. And this one I have seen, and it's a great horror film in my opinion. It's definitely a good step for Daniel Radcliffe going off of Harry Potter onto this. The first half of it relies a lot on jump scares. A faucet turns on or a crow jumps out the window or something like that. It's just a lot of jumps, so you're kind of like, it's going to be this type of cheesy movie, that's all it's going to rely on. But when the second half comes up and you start really understanding the plot and why, this ghost is here, the movie gets crazy. I don't want to spoil anything, but the plot itself is so, I don't want to say unique, but it's something that I've never seen before. It's definitely something disturbing that is really crazy. I would give it a 8.5 out of 10. It's really good. I definitely recommend renting if you have not seen it. If you're a fan of horror scary movies, or if you like Daniel Radcliffe, maybe buy it on Blu-ray or DVD. It's definitely a great movie. Next up is Red Tails, which stars Terrence Howard and Cuba Gooding Jr. and is about the Tuskegee Air Force during World War II, which is fighter pilots that are African American that never really get to do any fighting in the war. It's still, segregated, and all their missions are mostly take place on the ground or just, useless. And then eventually they are given the opportunity to go up in the air and fight. But the movie is great. I really do think there's a few errors I had with it, but overall it was a fun movie. When it was on the ground, during dialogue and that, it wasn't the best movie. But when they got in the air and you see a lot of the dogfights, it's outstanding in my opinion. I definitely 7 out of 10. It's a really fun movie, definitely worth, if you haven't seen it, a rental. If you're a fan of World War II movies, it's a good thing to add to your collection. I definitely recommend checking it out. Alright, I apologize if I mess up the pronunciation of this next movie, but it is The Secret World of Arrietty. I think that's how it's pronounced. And it's a traditional anime movie, hand-drawn pictures and all that. And I have not yet seen it. I want to though, because I'm a fan of anime. So these little people, kind of like the old movie The Borrowers, if you've seen that, where it's these little people and they live, in a normal-sized house, and they go around, stealing sugar cubes and stuff like that to survive. But then, the common house cat, poses a threat. Cockroaches and insects are threats. The wind in the front yard, everything that we don't see as threats that we just take for granted are life and death situations for them. But what I've heard is that it's a gorgeous film, that everything is drawn so beautifully and that you actually feel invested in these characters. Some of the voiceover work I've also heard, the main character Arrietty and her parents, I guess, are really good voice actors, but then the boy that they interact with, the normal-sized human, his voice doesn't sound right, but those are just some minor flaws that I've heard. IMDb gave it a 7.7 out of 10, which is a pretty good rating. So let me know in the comment section below, are you guys planning on seeing any of these movies today? Are you planning on renting them or buying them? My name is Mikey, and this has been another episode of Colossal Analysis, and I will see you guys later.